You're talking to a young entrepreneur right now, or somebody who considering selling their business. Like, what should you tell them? Like, what's a good word of advice for them?
Young entrepreneurs, do your research. Be on the offense. Prepare accordingly. This is, if you love your business and you love your people and you give a shit about the future and you're not in it for, a quick in and out, put forth that effort.
All right, welcome back to The Long Game. I'm Josh Sparks, CEO and founder of the Infinity Home Services. Today I'm with, what'd you call him? A passionate guy named Joe LeVecchi. He's a dad. He is a lifter. He's a part-time motorcycle mechanic, and he's the founder of Exterior Medics, a company that we partnered with last year, doing some pretty cool stuff over in Northern Virginia. Super high passionate guy, high energy, great leader. That's built something that's, pretty cool, pretty distinct. And so excited to talk to him today. He actually went through a banker-led process with his partner, Mark. And that was a pretty cool stories. I'm sure he's going to share that today. But Exterior Medics has carved out a really nice niche in the multifamily work. And hopefully for those of you out there trying to do some of that work, he can show you some of the things that made them successful. So, Joe, welcome.
Hey, Josh. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
How are we doing this morning?
We're doing fantastic. Super appreciative of the opportunity. You got a great smile. I just wanted to start off with that. Takes one to know one. I got to be honest and upfront with you guys. It's my first podcast, Josh. Okay, so go easy on me.
We got you on a few minutes early because I wanted to see if we can get some of that energy out. I'm not sure we got it all out.
I don't think it's all out. It's still a little bit in here, still bottled up. Right. So, but no, super. Obviously a passionate guy. I'm passionate about the things that are important to me. This being one of them. So, when I got the invitation, I jumped at the opportunity. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready with whatever you throw at me, Josh.
So first podcast, tell us, people probably don't know a lot about you. So let's talk a little bit about Joe. Where'd you grow up, brother? Like, when did you get into the trades? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Jersey boy, born and bred, graduated high school in Jersey, went to college in West Virginia, chased a girl to Virginia, first one to get a job. And then I answered an ad in a newspaper that said, work hard, make as much money as you want. Harder you work, more money you make. And I got into commission sales, chasing storms, door knocking, canvassing. You close a job, you eat, make some money. You don't. And fortunately, through hard work and perseverance, I was able to be successful at that. I got a couple of people to say yes. And the old, the old deal. It's like, yep, you knock on 100 doors and you get one. If you want two, you got to knock on 200. And that's what I did. Bloody knuckles, worn down souls had gotten me to gain an understanding of the home improvement industry, that I grew to love.
How long did you do that for, Joe?
Geez, I was door knocking for maybe 2-3 years. 2-3 years. It was the boiler room style. Get 30-40 guys in to answer the ad. See who lasts. Half show up. Next day, half still survive. And it was down to like 5 or 6. And then it was me and my good buddy left over, and we're like, all right, we could do this. And we just went out there and chased the storm. It was siding, it was roofing, it was gutters. That's all we knew. We had to sell it. We had to collect the material drop check. We had to build it. Didn't know shit about building. I mean, Handy, learned from my dad, building clubhouses and tree forts and shit. But didn't know shit about building a roof. And this is back in 2001. So grassroots style, then transferred that into management. Did well at sales, and then the idea of getting people to do what you're doing and buying in, attracting that talent. You then, the better you train, the better manager you are, the The better your people do, the more your income can grow, and you don't have to be on the streets knocking doors. Even though I love to do that, but got into management, got out of the insurance restoration world, and got into retail and learned that's a whole nother animal.
Same company or different company?
Different company, local company here in Virginia. And we were there for a couple years. My business partner and I, and we were the top two salesmen there. Enjoyed really. That's when we realized that this was long term for us. This was going to be a lifelong passion. We were driven, full of desire, and we said, okay, let's change the world. We just felt, we knew we could do it a better way. Back when we were providing estimates, it was carbon copy, 3 sheets, one for you, one for me, one for him, one for her. And yes, you're writing all this down. I mean, that's what I'm competing against. And we came up with the idea of computers and printers in the truck. That was pretty cool. The inverters and stuff.
When did you and Mark start Medix? What year was that?
2008. Conceptualized in 7 at the dining room table in Manassas, beautiful historic Manassas, Virginia. We were sitting at the table. It was Mark, my wife, and I with the manila folders trying to figure out how we could get a weird folder to open differently, because everybody else's folder opened like this. And we wanted ours to open like this and this. And we wanted it to be like a house. I don't know if you remember like the GAF business cards back in the day, like in 2000, like they were like these little opening origami type of things. And we're like, that's it. It was great.
That's the key to business. That is going to set us free.
Yeah, it was. And we couldn't find anybody. We went to so many different printing companies. And all of them said no, or you're crazy. Oh, can I show you? I'm gonna show you one. Yeah, it's amazing. Sorry. It was, yeah. This was our original. This is the OG folder. And it opens this way. And it opens that way. And, it was just cool. You put your business card somewhere else. And it was just neat. And we finally got somebody to buy in. We had some cool pamphlets that went in there, and then pictures of our faces everywhere. It's great. Who's not buying from this face? So yeah, man, that was it. And then rest is history. 2008 is when we took off, and then we were off and running. Never looked back.
9, 10, 11, 12. You guys are doing just retail, residential stuff? Are you knocking doors for exterior medics, or are you getting a multifamily right away?
What's funny, man? It's great you asked that question, because it's a lot like now. It's a lot like the partnership that we just got into. Because I was so anxious to get out of it and away from it. And I'm not a sales guy. And, it's like the jet engine taking off. It's like you can't keep it full throttle the whole time. Got to get it off the ground and then kind of pull it back a little bit. And I knew as a sales guy that I was working hard, up early, first one in, last one out. And then working on proposals. And I just knew I couldn't sustain if I wanted to have a family, if I wanted to be a good husband and a future father and all these things. Well, the kids came, and I said, okay, what's that next level? I don't know. Much like this partnership, right? That whole foreshadowing thing, I'm looking at it, and just coming, actually, it's awesome. I can tell you've done this before, Josh. You're really good. I didn't think about that, the similarities, but when we opened the doors, we went back to our grassroots. It was back to what we learned that had made us so successful as sales guys. Knocking the doors and going after that lead. Ultimately, always going back to that customer service component, right? I mean, the simple things that we learn. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I would say is interesting about what you guys have done is that you've got this incredible passion, Joe, obviously, but I see a lot of entrepreneurs that share that kind of, conquer the world mindset from the start. But the challenge that they have is turning that fire into systems, into good culture, and into consistency. Otherwise, that fire burns out. And you guys have done an exceptional job of that.
Listen, thank you, but it's hard work, and I'm still working at that. That is one of the biggest challenges that I'm faced with. Right? It's like I can do it all. No, I can't. And it's interesting because I pride myself on and my success on surrounding myself with people that are better at things than I am or can make me better. And in return, I'm better. You become better with me, right? Same thing philosophy with our company. We grow, you grow with us for all of our teammates. But yeah, so we were really good at selling. Didn't mean I was good at production. but I took on production, Mark took on sales, and okay, great, we're good at selling and building, but how do we scale this? And that's been our biggest challenge, and something that we've been so good at doing, and things that we could do so much better at, which is cultivating our people and empowering the people that have been with us our 10 years, for from the beginning. How about that? Into these leadership positions that live and breathe exterior medics that can help us with the departments, with the structure and the support and the systems and processes.
You guys have some fantastic people. You've cultivated some great talent there, without a doubt. With Gabby and Lauren and Ricardo, and I mean just the team in general. I mean, you guys have an incredible team there, and that's a testament to the leadership that you guys have, exterior medics.
Yeah, we do. Not going to dispute that. The ones you've mentioned, and others,
And others
have, and many others have been with us for a long, long time, and they've grown like we have from the ground up. And right or wrong, whether you agree with me or you don't, that's how we believe. That that's how you earn our trust and confidence. That's how that loyalty is built. That's what's most important to us. Because you've gone through it with us. So yeah, completely agree. We're very, very fortunate.
One of the things that intrigued me about you guys when I met you is just the better mousetrap you have around multifamily. So you do a lot of residential work, but you also do some multifamily stuff. And you just have this unique way of going to business where you take better care of these project managers and these apartment complexes better than any other contractor does. So where do you guys figure that out, and why are you guys so good at that?
So can I ask a question after you ask a question, Josh? Am I allowed to throw in a quick curveball, but I'll come back to it?
You may certainly do that. That's just a conversation.
The reason why I ask is because it just triggers a thought, a memory, a fond memory, Josh. That includes you. When you came in, you came into our lives. When we first met, you had said that's what triggered it. We had met with a number of different people that
actually
were interested.
Let me cut you off right there, because I want to talk about that process, because you guys are unique. Most of the companies that partner with IHS have called us. We've reached out to them. You guys actually went through a banker-led process, and I think
we'll come back to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might be the only one. But yeah, very unique in that. Yeah, so let's come back to that, because I want to understand your mindset, your Mark mindset coming up to that process. Like, what was it that really triggered? You guys had a great thing going. We can talk about multifamily after, but you got a great thing going. And when do you guys start thinking about seriously partnering with somebody, or going out to an investment banker and selling the business?
Yeah. So I was going to go, when you came in, you came, you saw, you went, you left us hanging, and then we looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck just happened? Where'd that dude go? Where'd Tom go? Where'd Brian go? I mean, Brian, they're calling Brian. He's not going to like that much. Delete that part of it. Yeah. And then, when I was thinking about sitting down and talking with you and telling Tom, I'm like, man, I wanted it. He left us hanging, and we knew the way that it all went down after we met with you guys.
Hold on, Joe. Let me back you up, brother. A lot of people aren't going to understand the process. So let me just so everybody understands. You, instead of just talking to us directly, you contracted a banker to help position your company for sale. And in that process, we met. But what was it? What was it that made you reach out to that banker? What was it in that point in time, Joe, where you're like, yeah, I'm ready to see what this business can do, or take on a partner?
Yeah.
Was that a long conversation with you and Mark, or was that a pretty quick thing for you guys?
Yeah. So reining it back, right? We it all kind of came together nicely. We had, over the last couple of years, more frequently over the last year or two, people would reach out to us and ask questions like, hey, have you ever thought of partnering? Have you thought of an exit strategy? Is now the time? Those types of things and questions that are asked. And we didn't know. We kind of ignored them for a while. We entertained some different businesses that were around us that we knew were going up for sale, and didn't act on those. And we finally got together and said, man, I don't know. Is this something? Is this really going to go anywhere? Is it a thing? And if it is, don't we want to be prepared? Right? Don't we want to be on the offense and, I don't know, be aware of our blind spots? And that's really when we decided to be proactive in our approach in a partnership, if and when it were to come to fruition. So yeah, we did our due diligence. We educated ourselves. We read a lot of books, and listened to a lot of people, hired an M&A attorney, did our own Q of E, to make sure that, we were aware of, we felt like we had a good grasp on our books, and accounting, but we wanted, once again, to understand more about what this potential partnership group would be looking for. So we did all of that. And then we hired a firm, an advisory firm, to promote us and get us out there. And it was so important. It was so important to us because we wanted to make sure that if we did this, if is key, because it wasn't guaranteed and I wasn't sold on it. And quite frankly, I don't think I wanted to do it. I didn't. If we were to align forces, it had to be the right group. It had to be a partnership. It had to feel right. And so many different vibes, energy come across your desk and into your life and into your world and universe. You got to be skeptical. And I'm skeptical at heart. And that's, long story short, just to summarize. That was the reason behind getting us out there, because we wanted the best of the best. We wanted to be sitting down with groups that were at the top of their game. We wanted to be surrounded with like-minded people and part of a group that was going to help get us to the next level. And that's what we fucking did.
So I love it. I love it. So we get invited to these banker-led processes all the time. And what the bankers do is kind of exactly what you said. No knock on them, right? They take the business, they polish it. Sometimes they're really good at polishing turds sometimes. Of course, every business that they present to us is only going straight up and to the right. Like, it can only be more profitable, and it's so super buttoned up. So we run some of those processes, but not a lot. We were intrigued by, when we got the deck from you guys. And but we were a little late to the game, as I recall. You had seen 4 or 5 different groups. I was traveling a lot at the time, as was my M&A guy, and we couldn't align schedules, like between the banker and you guys and me. We couldn't figure it out. And so typically the way these processes work are, you do a little wine and dining, we have dinner the night before. I'm selling you on us, you're selling me on you. It's a little bit of, cat and mouse game, but we don't know who the cat is and who the mouse is. But the way ours worked out was I could only fly out there and do like a 3-hour pitch and then gone. I couldn't even do lunch with you guys. And that was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting because everything that we saw about you guys, everything that we learned and felt like we knew, we were excited about knowing more of, right? And you were the one group. You guys were the one group that we just couldn't nail down. So we did get stuck in a lot of those dinners or those lunches or those long meetings where you just wind up. It's almost like, for me, it was like I was a deer in headlights, because I didn't know, am I the cat? Am I the mouse? Am I supposed to say things? Am I not supposed to say things? All the while, internally, I'm like, no, flight, run. And yeah, it was just, it's a tough time, even with all of the preparation leading to that moment. I couldn't have been more uncomfortable and unsure of myself, that what we were going through, the potential for what was to come. We just didn't, this is our baby. We built this from the ground up. It was started in my basement. All the years to get to where we're at right now, we're just going to handle. No, we're not. We got to make sure that this is right. These are conversations I had with Mark. We got to make sure it's the right team. We got to make sure that we're doing right by our people. We didn't want to leave. We weren't going anywhere. We're young guys. We're still passionate. Do we still have that fuel inside of us? I know we got the fire, but do we still have, that gusto to go and knock doors again and start over and prove ourselves to these guys?
Yeah, the process itself. So you guys must have seen a lot of pretty square PE folks, because I remember when I walked into the management presentations, I think I probably had a t-shirt on and a backwards hat on, and you gave me the side. I looked like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who the hell is he?
Yeah, because you were flexing on me. I'm like, this guy.
But I think we hit it
Yeah.
off right away because you guys are, I mean, you guys are straight shooters. We're straight shooters. I'm like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we can do. This is what partnership looks like. There's really there's nothing, it's all very transparent.
Yeah. Hey, listen, credit to you guys. You're exactly right, Josh. It, it, that room quickly filled up with a lot of energy. Really smart guys walked through that door that were humble, and had something great to offer, and were equally as passionate about their product as we were ours. And that was the chemistry. That was the buy-in for us. You come in, and it's knowing your product, and starting from the ground up, like we did, going through what we've gone through, from a number of different standpoints, whether it was building the business or the platform, and and partnering up. Ryan, right hand man is sharp as its hack, and he's just adding to the fire. And then we got Thomas that came as well. It was you three that came through, and we're like, okay, let's go. Then it wasn't so much like, hey, am I the cat or the mouse, or are we? No, it was like, now we got good vibes. Let's figure this out. These are guys that we could, that I could see ourselves, we could see ourselves partnering with. Wow, this is kind of cool. So let's learn more. And that's kind of where it all started to take shape.
So we go through diligence. I think it was pretty, you guys had a lot of that stuff buttoned up prior. So we got through that pretty quick. Anything stand out with you there or shortly after the transaction? Any operational?
Diligence? Oh,
Yeah.
God, it's horrible. I mean, listen, I'll give it to you straight. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. It is
I
the
never,
worst
I still got
experience.
people.
Yeah, probably worst experience of my life, because of even how excited we were about the partnership. It was some part of some part of you has to let go. You have to let go. Give a little to get a lot. You have to trust, and that's key. You gotta trust one of our core values, that you're making the right decision. We have so many mouths to feed. We have so many teammates that we don't want to let down. But if we do this and we do it right and we get it right, it opens so many doors and opportunities for them. So we got to be responsible with that power, our family, and all of this other stuff. It's like, okay, what do we do now? So, and listen, on top of that, I was 5 hours disconnected from you guys because I was on a ship in Alaska as we're closing. Right. So, but yeah, that process wasn't enjoyable. But then you go through this, you go through this mourning phase, and then it's like, all right, stop licking your wounds. And then I was like a couple of days. And it's like, all right, pull yourself together. We got this. This is a great thing. Now let's get to work. Let's really show them who we are. And it's like that proving to ourselves and to you guys that this is the right fit. Sky's the limit.
It's so funny when you build something like you guys have built and like what I built. I didn't remember. I was talking to TJ Gull, who was the first partnership that we made, North Branch Capital out of Chicago. And that was when I partnered Infinity, my original brand, with them. The day he's like, we were talking maybe a year after. He was like, Josh, you remember the night before we closed, like actually closed? We talked for like 2 hours. I'm like, I don't remember that phone call. And he was like, oh my God, you wanted to pull out of the deal. Like you were like, I can't do this. And actually I had to confirm with my wife, and MJ was like, yeah, Josh, you did it. I didn't even remember that. That's how traumatic it was for me.
Yeah, it's so tough.
Because you don't know, you spend your entire life building these great businesses, and to your point, you've got mouths to feed. You have people that rely on you to make good decisions, and now you're going to make a decision that's critical to the business long term, and it's nerve wracking. But so you guys have been with us for a while, and you guys are making some strides. So talk about some, operational wins. Like, what's your day to day look like compared to what it was before? Maybe how you feeling these days.
So feeling great, right? Going backwards. From the questions you asked, it's we're in a really good place and getting better day by day. Figuring out what we want our roles to be. And I remember when we asked you, we didn't really know, but you were very sincere and genuine in your response when I asked it, like, what do we do now? Like, where do we go from here? Like, just elementary questions, looking for, Daddy Josh to console little Joey over here, and just kind of make it all right. And you're like, just consoled you with my wallet, Joe. Isn't that enough? I'm like, well, settle down, Josh. No, it was like, it was just trying to figure out what we wanted our path to be. We knew what our challenges were. Mark and I, because of how close we are and united and always have been, it was very difficult for us to divide and conquer. Right? We actually call it unite and conquer because we get a little anxiety when we say divide because we're not divided, we're united. So it was tough for us to actually to wrap our heads around separating responsibilities as silly as that sounds. We weren't able to do it until we partnered with you guys because you helped us with the resources, with these different strategies, with the onboarding approach, with the different the different people that can help us put together that structure and empower our leadership team to take on more of these responsibilities. And with that comes structure and support.
Yeah, and I think being able to see it across other successful brands is really important. We have that value creation strategy and session where we come together with you. And oftentimes a lot of PE firms will say to single brands that, hey, we believe in what you do. We want to come in there, let you keep doing what you're doing, and we'll help you out. But behind the scenes, they have this very rigid, standardized process. They come in, they change your CRM, they do all these things day one, they flip, and all of a sudden you get a bunch of attrition, a bunch of lost people, and culture along with that. We don't do that. And so oftentimes, entrepreneurs, once you make the partnership, are like, hey, when are you going to come and actually change all of our stuff? And I'm like, hey, we're staying true to what we said. We're going to help you grow. We're not going to tell you exactly how to do it. But what we're going to do is come in here and show you things that are working successfully across our other brands. And it is through that process where those leaders get better and your company improves. And so we've seen it already. Obviously, you and Mark have gone through some role changes, right? Exactly what you're responsible for, and you guys are producing like crazy right now, which is awesome. So you guys have unlocked that piece of the business.
Just to chime in, Josh, you're taking a hard-nosed guy that's doing things his way, has owned his own company with his best friend and business partner for eons. And now I have to listen to you. I got to do it your way in this rigid system that you speak of. No, I'm kicking and screaming, digging my heels in. I'm not going to do it. Right. Whether it makes sense or not, proven strategy. I don't care. It just wouldn't work. And once again, Josh, as I hate buff as you are, Josh, as intense and intimidating, as a guy as you are, once again, you're exactly right. It wasn't just you. It wasn't just you. It was everyone we talked with that was a part of this onboarding process and this partnership. It was guys. It was because let's learn about your business. Let's understand what works. What challenges are you faced with? Let's come up with some ideas and strategies to help you figure out ways to solve those problems, not just do it this way. And if you want to utilize that system now or in the near future, great. We encourage you to do so. If you want to pump the brakes and take your time, we support that too. That's big. You just took away all of that anxiety of, no, right now, I'm not ready. I was still going through that morning phase of like, is this even right? And then you guys just kind of eased into it and helped us out. And the resources and the structure that you put out there for us to explore at our own pace was everything. So, yeah, that's giving it to you as straight as I can.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Joe, I want to circle back to the multifamily stuff you guys are so good at. I'd love to give some of the audience just a nugget or two about why you guys are so successful in that space.
Yeah. How about it happened by, I don't know if it was default, but we were always residential guys. That's all we knew. And, much like becoming a manager or the next step up from ground level, if you will, or to get to the next level, wherever you are on that level, on that scale. It was like, okay, I can sell a big residential roof. Mind you, this is, early 2000s. It's like, okay, for, 20, 30,000. God, can you imagine if we got one of those condominium places and communities? Wow, that's a much bigger roof, much bigger payday. How would we get in there and how would we do that? And it was, I don't know if it was more just exciting to explore something new to add to our arsenal. We had residential down. So I wanted to be stimulated. We wanted to we wanted to be challenged. So it was something that we didn't know. So we went after it. Grassroots style again. And it was knocking on doors. And as Adam Sandler has told to his daughters wanting to get into the Hollywood business, one piece of advice that you gave your kids, be nice to everyone. Be nice to everyone because you never know where they're going to go. And quite frankly, you can help them in that trajectory get there, which is really, really cool. So I'd be showing up with donuts to the front desk. Fast forward years later, that admin is running the property. And she remembered that I treated her just like I did the property manager that was managing it at the time. And we built long-lasting relationships. I have relationships with property managers that are 20 plus years long, right? So pretty cool. That's how it started. People give you a shot.
I mean, so Joe, they give you a shot, but then you have a good system that you can deliver the expertise, the quick service. You can take the pressure off the property manager, and be the easy button for them. I mean, that's what you guys have really done. And
How do
so
we make
you're
your life easier?
Yeah, I mean, you're making their lives easier, which is why you have something like what I think you told me 185 or 200 different complexes you're doing work for.
Yeah,
something like that.
Who gets caught up in the details, Josh? Numbers are just numbers. But it's it is a sweet spot. But what's pretty cool is it always comes back down to the basics. The basics. It's right. It's smile. It's bring some energy. Actually care about them. Listen. Right. Goes back to how to win friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie from the 30s. I still pick it up every now and again and read through it. It's back to the basics. Just give a shit and treat people with respect. And that's what we did. And that's what we do with our property managers. And we try really, really hard to constantly, add that to, or have that resonate throughout everything we do, but improve our systems to help be able to provide that support to the people that are providing us these opportunities. So that one property manager she could have a portfolio that manages a bunch of properties that she needs help with. And a simple question, actually caring, how can we help you? Is there anything that we can do to help make your life a little easier? Anything that needs to be, and anything needs to be done. Yeah. Let us know.
The passion you have, Joe, is obviously, anybody who's watching you could see that, but that really exists at the culture at Medics, which people can't see, but also in your community, like your community outreach. You guys do a ton of stuff. I'm seeing it on LinkedIn all the time, and I know some of the stuff you do, but you seem to be always underneath a Exterior Medics tent at some food drive or at some place. I mean, so you guys are really out there in the community. Like, how important is it for you guys?
This is fine. Check these out, John. This is the next one. These are scrubs. Here, I'm going to be a sidingologist, a rooferologist. This is the doctor. We think, we just got him clean.
What is that for?
This is for one of our events that we're doing the end of the month. Giving back. Come on, giving back to the people and the groups and the communities that give to us, that provide us these opportunities. So we're involved with from a property management standpoint, CAI, and in promoting the different events that our property management firms are putting on to help improve and cultivate their team members. So yes, we do. We believe in giving back from a number of different fronts. But that is once again another example of giving back or going back to the basics. That's Mark and I would go to these trade shows. We're playing on words. We love the marketing component of our construction company, and we'd be in lab coats and we'd have team members in scrubs and our stethoscopes and prescription for your home. Little cheeky shit, but it was fun
stuff.
For us. And if we were excited about it, we knew we could transfer that excitement to you.
Yeah, it certainly makes it memorable. And what's interesting is we see a lot of businesses, and there's a lot of folks who want to join IHS. They just don't quite fit the culture, the standards that we're looking for one reason or another. But oftentimes we see these ad backs in charitable givings, and so they want to get credit for their charitable givings. And it's like, we don't stop charitable givings at IHS. Like, when you become a partner with us, it's not like we cut that part of the business off. We believe in, if we're running a successful organization, it's the responsibility of successful businesses to give back to their communities. And you guys do a fucking great job of that, Joe. So it's awesome to see.
Thanks,
and you
buddy.
bring that same energy there as you do to the podcast and in your office, which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how to tame it. I don't know how to tone it down, Josh. Right? I mean, I don't know what the recipe for success is. People are like, you must love coffee. Coffee does the opposite deal for me. Like, it kind of calms me down a little bit, right? So it's water, right? It's getting to bed at a decent time. Not too much wine, right? What's that sweet spot? Is it 1 glass or 3? I don't know. A good meal, getting up. You and me both can attest to endorphins getting going with working out. Right? Some days, and it's not one thing, it's, and it might be something different tomorrow than it was today, but it's like, okay, work out. You and me are both big into self-help and improvement and sharing that with others to help make other people better. But it's like, I've been working out later at night when I get home and I'm like, okay, I sleep really good. I wake up and waking up like this, Josh. I don't know. Is it the partnership? Is it the excitement of doing this podcast with you? I don't know. I'm not sure, Josh, but you know what? I don't care.
The thing that I love that people won't get, I don't think this will actually come across, is that this is not motivation from you. This is discipline. This is just who you are 24/7. Like, this isn't this isn't a show. Like, this is who you are. Which this was what was in the management presentation in that fancy boardroom we were sitting in. And I'm like, I fucking like this guy. Like, this guy's going to get after it, man. So
we have fun.
You're talking to a young entrepreneur right now, or somebody who considering selling their business. Like, what should you tell them? Like, what's a good word of advice for them?
It was funny. I pulled out a couple of books, and I figured you might ask me if I liked some books, but one that resonates with me that I hadn't looked at in years. And I got my book collection back behind, but it's like many collections is like, you don't pull from it nearly as much as you want. You get caught up in all the new stuff. And it's interesting. A lot of the new stuff is, just different versions of the old stuff. And it's like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You just brought up, I got a daughter, at a big college, who I'm able to, who's able to go because I read up and I learned about money and I understood investments in a portfolio and a will, a medical directive, power of attorney, and all of these things that are so important that nobody talks about. Or not enough people talk about, right? So young people, yeah, I love coaching and guiding IRAs and 401k and all the those important things. But sitting down with a financial advisor, gain an understanding. Read. If you're going to have children, put that money away in 529s and watch it grow. It's a big deal. So anyway, financially, that's I'm off of that soapbox. But young entrepreneurs, do your research. Be on the offense. Prepare accordingly. This is, if you love your business and you love your people and you give a shit about the future, and you're not in it for, a quick in and out. Put forth that effort. Reach out to me, call me 1-800-567-9300. You want to talk with people that know more about it than you do. Learn about it, educate yourself. It's just some words of wisdom, some simple advice.
I think that goes a long way. I think I said that last time. Do your research is one of those phrases that got kind of burnt out with COVID, but it's true. PE is relatively new to our space. It's been in the HVAC world, landscaping world for over 20 years, and the stories of great companies that have been around for decades, getting, capsized, run rampant there. And in our industry right now, there aren't enough of those stories of the bad side of PE. And but they're starting to come out. They're starting to come out now, and we're hearing about it. And so, find a partner that you can trust with your wife and your wallet when you're not there. Someone who cares about the same things you care about. And I think you'll be much better served. You'll be able to sleep at night.
Yeah,
I tell you, if I would have partnered with the wrong company and made myself a boatload of money, and my whole company went to shit, which we're seeing happen in some of our communities on some of these other companies. I won't go into it too deep, but it's sad. You see Facebook forums of other businesses that have been around a very long time that say that business used to be unbelievable, and now they're just high price, high pressure. They don't support the community anymore. It's unbelievable. It's all about money. And if I'd have sold my business something like that, I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night. I would have been distraught.
It's completely unfulfilling. It is sad, Josh. but let's answer the question that you asked me to a higher caliber of entrepreneur, right? Someone that's got money. We have money, and we know that that's not the filling component. That wasn't for us. That wasn't for me or my business partner. So it was never about the money. We wanted to be fulfilled. We wanted to, as you said, right? It was like partnering with a good group that could make us better. And in our core relationships, it's the same thing, right? There's people that I'm around that get this version of me. There's others that aren't filling my tank. And you choose who you want to be around. You choose how you want to feel. And that's really how I looked at the partnership. Like I needed to be myself. I needed to be fulfilled. I wasn't chasing the money. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a shit about, the money component of it. I needed to be surrounded by people that could make the best of what I got, because I got a lot to offer. And I want to continue to share that and help cultivate my people and provide those opportunities for them for growth.
I love it, Joe. I could talk to you for days, man, but got to wrap up. Got a couple of quick fire questions for you, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. What do you mean? I'll talk to you all day.
I was gonna say, what's your coffee order? But really, probably, what's your energy go-to drink?
Listen, I'll give it to you straight. You're gonna have people say coffee black, cafe latte. No, listen. Depending upon the mood, same thing I tell my kids. What's your favorite color, Dad? I don't have a favorite color. Depending upon the mood I'm in is going to determine what color is my favorite at the time. Same thing with Starbucks. New thing for me is dropping off my daughter Lee at school in the morning. She's in 8th grade. Love that. She's like, let's go to Starbucks. What do you want, Dad? Tea today, coffee tomorrow. I tried the matcha, whatever.
Chai tea latte.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, any given day, you never know what you're going to get with me, man.
What's your favorite job site gear?
Yard sign. Safety, listen, rope and harness obviously is the go-to for safety and making sure our team members are working in a safe manner. And we all know how tough that is, how tough it is to keep our people safe, but it's caring about them at times more than they're caring about themselves. So, yard sign from a marketing standpoint, and that's fun, and that's how we stay in business to help, right? We need the yard sign to help buy the safety equipment for the guys. So
what's one thing you would never compromise in business, no matter how big you got?
Our people, the cultivation of our people, now structure and systems. And that's, and that's a battle. Once again, not a battle, but it's for myself internally where it's like, okay, this is my old way. I'm crayons, construction paper. My teammates are structure. Let's go. This is the way it needs to go. And it's really letting go, and helping, letting go of and empowering other people to help for the betterment of our company, for growth, so we can scale, so we collectively can all do better, not just us. So our people and the cultivation of our people and education of our people is key and everything to us.
I love it, Joe, man. Appreciate everything you're doing over there on the East Coast for IHS, the passion that you bring, the friendship that we have. I'll be out there next month. And so I'll see you in a few weeks. We'll maybe have a couple cigars.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can open invitation anytime you want. Let's do this again.
All right. Definitely, man.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Josh.
Well, all right, everybody. Joe brings a different kind of energy, as I'm sure you could see, and I absolutely love it. His fire and passion have really built Exterior Medics into something that's truly remarkable. Him and Mark Watson are just incredible leaders there. But there's a truth about passion because, on its own, and I said this during the podcast, it can burn out really fast. But if you direct it the right way towards people, towards good systems, and towards your legacy, it becomes a force that just people can't compete with. So it kind of reminds me that leadership isn't about losing your fire. It's about aiming at things that can last. So here's my challenge to you this week. Take a look at where your energy is going. Is it all going into today's urgencies, or is it being invested into building something that will outlast you? That's how you play the long game. Until next time.